Welcome to the Hypergiant Media Channel. Today we're doing an unboxing of Last Friday, the board game. And we just picked this up recently at Origins. So there it is, Last Friday, the board game. That's the front cover. The back gives you a good idea of what the board looks like. A little bit of an idea of what's in there. Last Friday is a horror game that takes place at a cursed summer camp. It's story of a maniac who came back from the dead. As you can see from the art and the name, it looks a little bit like a familiar horror film superstar, right? Yeah, a little bit, just a little. So let's read a little bit more on the back. Summer 1980, still a little bit more like the horror film, right? I'm pretty sure that's the correct year it came out too. 5 friends were hired as counselors by new owners of the camp in the woods to patch up the property in exchange for a free vacation, but now they're just trying to survive the weekend. In the past, Camp Apache was the scene of mysterious events. Legend has it, years ago, a man suspected of multiple murders drowned in the lake. Well, okay. While escaping from the police. But his body was never discovered. Local townsfolk are convinced an undead and murderous presence haunts the camp. As a young camp counselor, will you be able to survive a long weekend of terror? Will you run away, or will you have the courage to fight the maniac and avenge your friends? As the undying psychopath hidden in the shadows of the forest, will you be able to catch all the campers? You can hide from them when they feel brave, then take your revenge when they are unprepared. It's a game for 2 to 6 people. There is the counselors, the campers, the counselors, and then there's the psychopath murderer killer. And so one person plays the killer in this game, and everybody else plays the counselors. And they get to go through 4 different scenarios. If I remember right, it's 3 or 4. I think it's 4 scenarios is the whole game. In each scenario, there's different goals for the campers and different goals for the killer. Killer's always to kill the counselors, but the counselor gets their own board, and they never know where he is. But they get certain traits that will let them know where he is. So what do you say we tear into it? Let's get this plastic off. New box smell, all right? Just put that down there. So there's the front, and let's shimmy this thing open. New box. All right, pop that to the side. Harris Games, that's who makes it. Right on top here, looks like it's just advertisement for, you know, the other products that they put out. Typical of any game, you know, there's usually this little catalog, let you know what's in there and what else you can get. So if you like one of their games, you know, go and try another one. We actually demoed this game at Origins Game Fair in Columbus, Ohio last year. Had a lot of fun demoing it. We played one of the first scene, the first act as the demo, and the guy demoing it played the psychopath, and we got to play counselors, and we had a lot of fun with it. But we didn't actually pick it up until this year. We picked it up at Origins 2019, and we also picked up the expansion for it, which I'll do an unboxing for at another time. But let's get back to see what's in the box. All right, so then what do we have here? This is looks like this is the Last Friday. This is the rulebook. So let's get a good shot of this here. So that's Going to show you, what all the pieces are, the board, areas of the board. It's a good little map. And then, take you turn by turn on, how to play the game. Typical stuff here. And then, yeah, here's a chapter 1, 2, 3, and 4. So there's 4 acts to the game, and this is, this is your goals for, and how to beat chapter 1, chapter 2, what you need, chapter 3 and chapter 4, to overcome your adversary. Let's see, what's next in here? What's next? Oh, okay, this is pretty cool. So let me unfold this. This is the killer's screen. I'll set it up so you can see it set up. So this is the view you would get from the counselors. This is what they would see. This is what the counselors would see. This is the other side. This is what the killer sees. And let's switch to the other camera view. So this is this killer's side. And you see he's got a map, and it's all numbered. All these little white circles are numbers. It's got other info on here for him on each side. And what he does, how it works, is you slide a piece of paper under here. So this is Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, Act 4, and you go down through here, and these are his turns. And basically you have a piece of paper under there. You just write what number he is on, so you can keep track of where you are if you're playing the killer. So you have, the killer's on 166, you just write 166 in there, and that's where he is. And that way the counselors don't know where the killer is. If they come across the killer, they get killed, obviously. So there's a little bit that plays out there. Maybe they get away, probably going to get killed. They're not very tough, especially early on in the game. So if they happen to stumble across him, they're dead. Later on in the game, they get to pick up things that let them see. They can find out where the killer is within a few spaces, or where he was last turn, or things like that. So the killer gets his own little board, his own little screen. And let's see what's in here next. This is looks like a bunch of chits or little tokens. You punch them out. There's the boat. You need the boat to go across the lake. Keys. The first act was keys. You had to find the keys and then get in the cabins, if I remember right. You set traps, and various other things in here that are symbols of what happens during the games. Let's move on. What's next? This looks like, I'm going to move this out of the way for a minute. This is the board. Let's see how much I can get on camera. So there's the board. Pretty good size. And you can see you got all the cabins, and they're each color coded. It goes along with each of the counselors. Over there is the keep track of where you're at in the chapter. And they're all, it's a lake, you need the boat to get across the lake. Alright, so you see the cabins, and they got this little, here's the cabins. You got these little locks, colored locks. And so, like in the first chapter, right there, that's where the yellow guy starts. And they have to find the key hidden somewhere and get back to their corresponding color for their cabin. And that was the goal of the, I believe that was the goal of the first chapter. So once they find that, then they're good. If I remember right, these little tokens, these are lantern tokens. They're just little plastic disc, and they provide light. We have a packet. This is Sam. This is his picture. He's one of the counselors. And then on the back, you'll see this is Susan. These are some of her stats and a little bit of info about her. Susan's a city girl. Susan's a city girl and was raised in a wealthy family. She's not used to the outdoors, and to her, flies and mosquitoes are monstrous creatures to be avoided at all costs. She came to Camp Apache to prove to her parents she isn't scared of hard work. So, best of luck. It looks like right here, you see that symbol. She is good at listening. I believe that's what it is. Don't quote me on that, but these correspond to things that they can do. Heartrending cry. When she's eliminated from the game, all campers must immediately move one white dot. So down here, each camper has a little thing that tells them what happened, tells you what happens when they die. Right here, these cards are cabin cards. So you get these whenever you unlock a cabin. You set these in there, and there is extra movement through the cabin, so that you know where you're at once you get in the cabin, and they can be in there. Comes with plastic bags. These bags are used to hold your tokens. That's always nice. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You have your people. These aren't really meeples, I guess, but they are not really meeples, but they are little tokens for your little campers and your killer. He looks a little different. Here, I'll hold up 2 of them for you. You got your campers, and then you got your killer. He's a little beefier, just like in the movies. Let's see if there's anything under. Nope, nothing underneath. Nothing underneath, so that's the whole game. Everything in the box. I'll do, like I said, I'll do an unboxing later to show you what's in the expansion. Look for a couple of streams on us playing this game, because there's multiple ways to play this game, especially with the expansion. That's where it mostly comes in. So we'll do a stream once for the stream where we just play this as is the original version, the way it should be. Then maybe we'll do one where we use the killer in the other box, and you'll have to watch the unboxing to see who that killer is. You might be able to guess, or you might already know if you've seen it in the stores or at the conventions. And then you can do a versus mode where you have the campers and then you have both killers, and the killers compete to kill, well, everybody. So like a whole somebody versus somebody movie that was out that might not have been that great, but still kind of vague on who won. So anyway, come back to the Hypergiant Media channel. Follow us on Twitch as well, where you can watch us live stream this game, other card games, board games, and a lot of RPGs, Dungeons and Dragons, and Savage Worlds are our biggest ones right now, but we will be getting into some other stuff. So just tune in and see what we get into with all that. So thanks for stopping by. Don't forget to subscribe to us here on YouTube, on Twitch, where we are now affiliates, so you can follow and you can subscribe. Also, we're on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. So find Hypergiant Media in all of your favorite social media, and thanks for tuning in.